Because.
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 Because. Because.
Armani, hey, hi. It's your big brother, Brandon.
Hey, Isabel.
Hey, Taryn.
Hi.
Hi, Trinity.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Hunter.
Hey T, it's me and your buddy Gunner.
Hey, Jair, how you doing, man?
For the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Hey! Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. Hey! They could say it all sounds crazy.
I became a big because when I was a child, I had a mentor.
I first became a big about 8 years ago.
I became a big sister for Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters because when I was growing up, I had awesome mentors.
Hey, this is Denzel. I've been in Big Brothers Big Sisters for the past 4 years now.
I became a big because I had a mentor growing up who was really important to me.
I became a big just as a way of giving back to my local community.
From this point forward, you are officially matched, so you are big and little together, which is awesome.
Hello, welcome to the Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters virtual information session. We are so grateful you have joined us today to learn a little more about what we do and how you might become a part of it. This time has been interesting, inspiring to say the least. Our bigs inspire us on a pretty regular basis, but during this time in our world, they have wowed us. As you may have seen in the opening video, our bigs are meeting both virtually and in person with their littles. And even during the stay at home, if virtual wasn't available to their little, they were dropping off stationery, envelopes, stamps to communicate through the mail, or just talking on the phone. It was a pretty amazing time. And on a serious note, being a big is an incredible way to create change and bridge some of the divides that are creating a lot of civil discord in our communities today. Quite frankly, as we think about the kids we are serving, time away from school, the racial issues our country is facing, increased poverty, the list kind of goes on and on this year. Thankfully, because our mission is solely one-to-one mentoring, we are a pretty safe COVID volunteering opportunity. It's just you and your little. And we are grateful that our matches are back to meeting in person with only a few guidelines at this point. However, as you listen to the rest of this information session, please understand that we are processing volunteers virtually, if that is your preference, and we can work to help you meet with your little virtually in the beginning if that's your comfort level. We're just working very hard to ensure that the youth who are on our waiting list and still coming to us during this time get their big. So thank you again. In Sedgwick County, we have more than 300 youth facing adversity on the waiting list, so let's get this party started. My name is Shelley Chinberg, and I'm the Regional Area Director serving South Central Kansas. I've been with Big Brothers Big Sisters for 7 years. Over to my co-presenter today, and she can introduce herself.
Hi there, guys. This is Haley. I'm the volunteer manager for Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters serving Sedgwick County for about 4 years now. I've been a big sister since early 2018, so it's been a lot of fun. Shelly and I, along with our amazing staff at Big Brothers Big Sisters, have the incredible opportunity to work with volunteers here in Kansas who want to give just a little bit of their time to really make a big impact in our communities. From the challenges, as Shelley mentioned, that we faced this year, we know now more than ever that we are truly better together. This is actually a look at the t-shirts you'll be getting attending the webinar today. We also, we have a good, with the agenda today, we do have our good friend Kim Blackman from Chicken and Pickle that's going to be joining us. Kim is currently in a family match, and she'll be announcing the winner later on. So let's take a quick look at the agenda that we're going to cover over the next half hour. We'll go over a lot of inspiring and impactful information, and it's going to go quickly. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post those in the chat. If we don't get to those during the webinar, then we can certainly answer your questions at the Q&A at the conclusion of the webinar. So, okay, so first, we're going to start off with some videos, testimonials of some of our current bigs.
Found the cutest little non-tooth 5-year-old little boy with the biggest, brightest smile, and started doing things with him on a weekly basis. Loved his personality. He added as much joy to our life as I'm sure we did his.
The family picture that we took the day that we were matched with Justin, Harris has his arms up in the air like he just won something big, and it was Justin that he won.
But it's not like that, you know. You meet each other and you get to know each other, and you just go from there. It's so cool to make a new friendship, you know.
Being a big has made me realize that children need a mentor now more than ever. They need someone to spend some quality one-on-one time with. I've learned that I needed a little my own too, because I'm finding myself doing things that most adults aren't doing nowadays, and really enjoying the simple and the little things in life.
I became a big because I wanted to make a positive impact on a child in my community. I highly encourage you, if you have the time, to join and sign up for Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's been one of the more positive experiences that I've had.
These kids are just looking for an outlet. They're just looking for someone to give them a little bit of time. Whether it's an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, they just want an outlet. They just want to be with someone who enjoys being with them. So just having that time with me is like the highlight of her month. It's like, wow, my big sister's here. We're gonna go hang out, watch a movie, and maybe that's something that, not saying that she's not getting it at home, but it's always different when it's your big sister, you know.
You know, I don't know that I want her to necessarily learn anything. I just want her to know that she has someone if she needs something. You know, I definitely wouldn't want her to be a cookie cutter of me or anything like that, but you know, just learn that there's people that are there to support her and that are on her side and that want her to excel. I think that's what I would want her to learn.
I mean, just put yourself in some of these kids' shoes. I mean, not all of them have someone to even just really talk to or just hang out with for however, like an hour or so. Like, makes a huge difference. Just,
I would say, I hope Owen finds something that truly fulfills him in life, whether it's a job or whether it's family, creating his own family, setting his own path that may be different from what he had.
Well, I want you to know that I see you, and I see your passion, your enthusiasm. I see how much you care for other people. I see your talents and your strength and your intelligence, and I believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. I have no doubt.
Wow. We're going to start and talk a little bit about the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. We serve only youth facing adversity, and we do only one thing, one-to-one mentoring. We've done this one thing for over 100 years nationally and 50 years here in Kansas. Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters is one of the largest affiliates of Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. We serve almost the entire state, 93 counties. We do that through 8 area hubs, each with their own directors and program staff. So you are, your friends are, we have a local or nearly local staff ready to support you. So that's a little about who we are and where we serve. And now Haley's going to share a little bit more about the kids we serve.
All right, and I am going to share a little bit about that. I think that we have, do we have a poll maybe to put up right now to learn a little bit more about our audience? Oh, there we go, guys. Okay, so we really would love to know how you heard about this webinar. Whether it's social media, we have so many great corporate partners that we know that have been sending out invites. Maybe it's an email blast through MailChimp. If you have a friend or a current big that has been involved, or maybe none of these options, but we would really love to know more about how you hear about us. All right. Oh, it looks like social media is the winner. Oh, it flashed back up. Oh, there we go. So a little bit of, actually company emails. So very grateful for our corporate partners. Okay, so I'm going to transition now onto who we serve. So every Big Brothers Big Sisters agency across the country, as Shelley mentioned, matches only youth facing adversity. We serve ages 5 until 17. We don't serve every youth. Our mission is to serve youth only facing adversity. And so when we enroll our littles, every youth receives a youth risk assessment survey upon enrollment to ensure that we are serving those in our community that need us the most. As you review these statistics in front of you, and I know a lot of people are very shocked at maybe the poverty rates or the challenges that we are facing here in Kansas. As you review these statistics of the youth that we served last year, I want to always remind people that these are awesome kids. They're really great kids, just maybe facing some additional challenges that many of us didn't have to face growing up. Some of the youth that we serve maybe only have one of these signs of adversity, and they may have all of them and then some. When we work with you through the enrollment process, we want to ensure that we match you with a little like you and with the adversities that you feel comfortable working with. So I'll expand on that in just a minute, but I want to dig a little bit deeper into some examples of what your little may look like. So if you look at little number 1, she would really be on the lower end of the needs spectrum. So she has multiple siblings that she loves, and they drive her crazy all in the same breath. I think if we have siblings, we understand that fully. Her stepdad works a lot, and they live below the poverty level, and so she just doesn't get a lot of one-on-one attention or time. So she could really benefit from having somebody in her life that just kind of shares with her and laughs with her and spends that intentional time together. And then if you jump up to kind of the mid-level of youth that we serve, it could look like this little guy. He's a little bit higher up on the youth development needs. He has an awesome single mom, very resilient mom who works multiple jobs, and they've been forced to be very transient. He's had some challenges in schools. So he's, like I said, at that secondary level, a little bit more risk than waiting little number 1. And then if you look at like kind of the highest level of needs of kids that we serve, this can look like little number 3. So our traditional, typical youth that we serve is more of a preventative program, but we do have some youth who have been involved in the juvenile justice system. They have every great intention to do better. They just lack the support as to how to, make that change. So more of a rehabilitation than preventative. So if you have the desire to work with a youth who's been in the juvenile justice system, I encourage you to indicate that on your feedback form as well. So why do we have so many different types of littles? Well, there's a lot of people out there, and we have so many different types of bigs. And really, this is one of my favorite things to talk about is the way that we match. So a lot of mentoring agencies is more of a first come, first serve basis. But Big Brothers Big Sisters is really set apart in what we call the best fit match. And so instead of a first come, first serve, it's really through the enrollment process for the youth and for the mentors. We learn all about you, your personality, your hobbies, your skills, your interests, your different adversities that you would like to work with or not work with. And when we find that when we match based on that best fit, it's just more fruit, more fun, and many times more longevity that results from those relationships. So Shelly and I joke sometimes that we're like the original Match.com, minus the dating portion, of course. But it's truly what makes each match last longer in the end. So, okay, so now I'm going to hand it back over to Shelly, and she's going to talk a little bit about our goals and outcomes.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is an evidence-based nonprofit, which means we provide outcome measures on each match, as well as our program overall each year. The ultimate goal of the program is to break the cycles of adversity in the lives of our youth that are very often generational. We are very proud that year after year, our outcome measures demonstrate that youth matched with a big have increased self-esteem, they do better in school, they have better relationships with peers and their family, they're just able to make better decisions and avoid some of those risky behaviors. The success of the program is real, and it's frankly pretty amazing the changes that occur in our littles just because someone like you decided to simply spend time with them. In the end, we are working to serve and support as many of our youth as possible through the age of 25, with the goal of seeing that they have the resources they need to hold a livable wage job. So, I'm Mark. Well, Haley's going to tell you just that.
All right, thank you, Shelly. So we really just have we have two options that we encourage you to consider. As she mentioned as well, we know with the wild world, the COVID world that we're living in this year, we certainly can offer a virtual only option to begin the match, or if you feel comfortable, then we can do this in person. So we have a lot of guidance and tools to help you through all of that. But the community-based match is the first one I'll chat about. So basically, the community-based match is just as it sounds. You're taking your little out into the community to do an activity and then bringing them back home. So, I mean, activities can be very simple. We have this saying around the office that make your ordinary be their extraordinary. And some of the simplest things that we can do, I know Shelly potted plants with her little not very long ago, and she had a blast with that. I was talking to a guy the other day that his little favorite thing to do with their little is to just do a family dinner night where the little comes over on Sunday evenings and just has dinner together and sits around the table, and that's a new and fun and unique experience because he typically is sitting in front of the TV for dinner. And so we have a lot of awesome partners across the town who provide free or really low cost ways to go hang out with your little, like Botanica or Chicken and Pickle, like places like that, that really great partners. But I will say probably the most impactful experiences that you can have are literally simply just including them on things that you were already doing. Like I mentioned, having dinner, watching a movie on the couch together, maybe going to sporting events, obviously COVID safe activities that you will be able to do. So you can do this as an individual. You can also do it as a couple, and you can do it as a family. So we look at the needs of the little and match them appropriately in that way. So, and I do love the perspective that it provides, even my own kids, the spirit of volunteerism and giving back to the community. So time commitment, number one question that we get, and I always want to clarify that because we understand that y'all are busy people, but we do require, one of the fee requirements is for you to commit to 1 year. And that is for a couple of reasons, but these kids have some transition within their home life, and so we want to be that consistent mentor for 1 year. And also, you know, we know that it takes a little bit of time to develop that trust in that relationship. And so 1 year, and for minimum of 2 activities, basically 4 to 6 hours a month. It's kind of the guide. So hang out with your little, like typically I'll go every other weekend, a couple hours here and a couple hours there. Some people like it very consistent, like an hour a week, every week. So completely up to you and your little's guardians as to what schedule works the best. So you'll be exchanging contact information with your little to set up those activities. Then I'll transition over to the site-based match. This one looks the most different of all this year because this has been obviously volunteers are not able to go into the schools. We want to keep all the students and the teachers safe and healthy. And so this one will be basically starting out as a virtual only match. So you'll meet with your little, and I know the kids are so used to doing Skype or Zoom calls all the time anyway. And so it will be kind of a fun break from their normal school routine. But as far as activities that you could do with your little, we don't expect you to be a tutor by any means. If that's your forte, you're more than welcome to do that. Read books together, you know, play games. We have a lot of great resources to help you with your virtual only match. And then we have every expectation that these site-based matches will be starting back in the schools before we know it. So this was more structured. We do require you to commit to 2 semesters and meet with your little on a weekly basis for about 30 to 45 minutes. So, okay, so you know, and we do work with, like I said, school teachers and counselors quite a bit, so we always are grateful for referrals that are coming through for the little side. So as I mentioned, it seems like a lot of information, but we have a community-based, and then we have a virtual site-based match, and then we match you according to the best fit. So now I'm going to hand it back over to Shelly, and she's going to tell you a little bit more.
Well, one of the biggest and best differences between Big Brothers Big Sisters and other mentoring organizations are our match support specialists. We employ professionally degreed staff whose job it is to support you and your match throughout the life of your match. This support is based on national standards that every Big Brothers Big Sisters agency must adhere to, and is designed to, 1, ensure child safety, that's always paramount with us, but also to ensure that the match is benefiting the little and you. Your MSS will be your go-between with your little's family. They can be your personal sounding board. Each of them have worked with hundreds of matches. They can also give you great advice, provide ideas for activities, and maybe help celebrate your successes and milestones. So let's talk a bit about our match process. I'm going to start off with your requirements, and yes, there are always rules. They are simple but important. We ask that you commit to your little for at least 1 year, as Haley mentioned. As you can imagine, our littles have a lot of transition in their lives, so we work very hard to ensure consistent supportive relationships. Number 2, communicate with your match support specialist on a regularly scheduled basis. It's not a lot, and it can be done by text, phone, or in person, whichever is most convenient for you. Again, this is important, and it's a national standard for us. Finally, follow the ground rules set by Big Brothers Big Sisters of America for your match activities. The things you do with your littles. They're not super restrictive by any means, but I just always say don't plan on taking your little skydiving or on the back of a motorcycle anytime soon. Okay, I think I'm flipping it back to Haley. Tell us a little bit about what they will experience when you become a Big.
All right, so the enrollment process is what I'll cover, and it is thorough, but just please keep child safety at top of mind. That's the reasoning behind the thoroughness. We want to make sure everybody has the best of intentions working with their little. And it honestly flows very simply. A lot of things that we talked to, so it was like a lot faster than I really ever even expected. But this is step one, so congratulations, y'all are completing step one. We are never a hard sell by any means. Obviously, there's a huge need. We love for you to consider becoming a part. At the very least, from today, we would ask you to share with other friends and community members who are interested and would make a great big. But if it is a good fit, awesome. We would have you. There's a bit.ly link right here on the slide. So I encourage you to either put this into your phone or jot it down, because this is how we receive feedback. And this is also how you can indicate that you're ready to move forward with the enrollment process of the big. So it's bit.ly/Kansas Bigs. And I know they're putting it, yep, I see they're putting it in the chat right here. So perfect. All right, so from today, when you fill out your sheet, then you'll have somebody contacting you from the agency to set up your interview. We'll send you a couple of forms. We'll send you a application. We'll send you a pre-interview form, and then we'll also send you a background release. I always encourage our bigs when they submit an application to let their references know. We'll have a list of the types of references that you need, and we have to receive those back in order to approve you as a big. So please just let them know. Keep a lookout to your email, and they'll have a very simple form to fill out. Also, there's a pre-interview form, and that helps us to measure the level of adversity that you feel comfortable working with, and it's a little bit of a personality test, and so just a few questions ahead of time. And then the background release is just a couple of clicks to allow us to do a background screen on you. We'll have you complete all of this, and we'll have a whole summary that we'll send to you, because I know it's a lot of information, but we'll have all of those submit at least 24 hours prior to your interview. We can conduct this in person, or we can certainly conduct this virtually. I think most of them lately are doing virtually, which works great. So the interview, we're developing that best fit all throughout this intake process, and just learning more about you and your personality and your past and present and future plans and likes and dislikes and all those type of things. So it typically lasts about an hour. And we'll also, after the interview, if you're doing a community-based match, then we'll also do a home visit. So this home visit is not a white glove test by any means. It's just making sure it's a safe space to bring your little to come back to hang out. Like if you have firearms, that they're secured, those type of things. So I can combine your home visit and interview together. We can do that in one appointment, so it makes for a little bit more efficient enrollment. We'll also send you a couple of videos that are only about 30 minutes in their entirety, but it's our local staff. They did a great job at kind of giving you some tips and ideas and some child development, education, and those type of things. So I found them very helpful. You'll complete those ahead of your file showing. That's where we'll provide, if you're doing a community-based match, anywhere between 2 and 4 waiting littles. That you'll read through their files, learn a little bit more about them, and then choose your little. I always tell people there's not a right or wrong choice by any means. And then you'll have your match meeting is really the final step. So getting to meet your little for the first time. I remember personally, I was really nervous. I'm a very extroverted person, and I don't really know a stranger, and I was so nervous going to meet her. But one of the things that I was really excited, and I remembered in the enrollment process, when we enroll our littles, most of their guardians are the ones coming to us saying, you know, we want my kid to be a part of this program. And we take them out one-on-one and explain to them what it is to be a little and ask them if they want to be a part. And so all 300 plus kids that are waiting in Sedgwick County genuinely want to be your friend. And I feel like that as a volunteer, that makes your time extend even further because they're just really excited to be there. So, and then in a normal world, it takes about 30 to 45 days, some much less and some more, heavily dependent on your volunteers, your schedule availability, and as well as getting those references back. So here's, I'll transition over to the green sheet slide, as we call it, the green sheet. But this is what, when you log into that bit.ly link that you see right there, the bit.ly/Kansas Bigs, That's where you'll be able to, like I said, put in your initial information, provide any kind of feedback that will be helpful to us. Let us know that you're ready to move forward in the process. So if y'all could take the time to either jot that link down or go ahead and go into your phone and send it on. So we did, with this virtual world, there's a couple of positive things that are coming out of it, and it's kind of fun because we had the opportunity to see some match meetings in person, or well, virtually in person, right? So we have a clip here that we're going to share with you.
Exactly. So that's a good point. So from this point forward, you are officially matched. So you are big and little together, which is awesome.
You know, I'm pretty free spirit. I just, you know, go with the flow. I like to have fun. What do you like to do? Do you like to play outside? Do you like to play inside? What kind of things do you like to do?
Read.
Read.
Makeup. Can you do makeup?
Oh, you like to do makeup? Oh, girl.
That is awesome. Soccer and makeup. That's like a great
She
duo.
doesn't know yet, but Emily, so at my house, I have a house, and I turned one of my rooms into, it's called the glam room, and that is where only girls are allowed, and you get all dolled up, and you put on your clothes and your makeup, and you look super cute. So you will have to, you'll see the glam room. Good. Nice to meet you, Emily.
You all.
I'm much cuter in person.
I just love that video, that little girl's face. I'm not sure I'm much cuter in person. Anyway, everything Haley talked about sounds like a lot, but it is all geared toward making you that best fit match, which is the cornerstone of our program. Well, I'm a bottom line kind of gal, so here it is. To be a big, all you need to do is show up. Show up consistently, be supportive, and listen. You don't necessarily need to know math. It's not about tutoring. You don't need to be great at sports or video games or crafts, or you just be you, and we will find you a little like you. That's how it works. Well, we have a pretty awesome gig here. We truly get to work with and meet some of the city's greatest people. But the most amazing thing to me is that as we meet people who've been bigs over the last 50 years, I haven't met one who hasn't told me that being a big was just as or more impactful for them as it probably was for their little. It's really a win-win situation. All that said, we are not a hard sell. If it is not the right time for you to be a big and you don't feel like you can commit for a year, there are other ways to support our mission. You could donate. We are a true nonprofit in the sense that we don't have a business mechanism supporting us, and we do not charge anything for our services. So if you or others would like to consider a small donation, that would be awesome. You can also refer a big or a little. As we mentioned, there are many youth on the waiting list, and that is not new. Littles come in almost as quickly as we can match them. And frankly, that is necessary as we look to make those best fit matches. So we are always looking for great bigs and littles who need us. You may also consider connecting us for a speaking engagement with your, I don't know, your business, your church. Maybe you belong to a civic group. Maybe you belong to a wine club or a book club, a running club. I mean, we will really speak to anyone, anywhere for any length of time. So maybe 5 minutes before your group meets, or a lunch and learn for 30 to 45 minutes. Whatever the opportunity, we would be very gratefully be there. Okay, social media. Social media has become even more important than we believed before the pandemic. We have our own Facebook, Instagram, Twitter accounts, so liking, following, and sharing our posts would help us out a great deal. Finally, in the normal world, we do have special events that need volunteers. So check back in with us, hopefully in 2020, and if you're interested in helping out that way. I think that brings us to the end of the show here. So Haley, let's wrap this up and give away something.
All right. So one more reminder, guys, if you could do me a favor and go ahead and fill out that bit.ly form, the bit.ly/Kansas Bigs. Then and let's get these giveaways out. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about this. I was kind of texting with Miss Kim Blackman. Kim, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And we have your picture there of your match. So thanks for sending those over. I just have loved some of the stories that you've shared with us. But would you mind just sharing a minute about kind of what prompted you to become a big and about a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in the program when I was at Wichita State, so that was a long time ago. But I was matched with a little, and we were together through her high school. I was married. We started a family match. We have 3 kids. It's always like, do we have time? We're so busy, but the family match was a great option for us. So we had a little named Hunter. He ended up moving away. And so we got another family match, and we've been with Jalen, who's in that middle picture. I'm trying to think, I should know the year, but I think it's been about 8 years. So he is a junior in high school. And I don't know if this is the best thing to say, but he's really no extra effort on our part. He does what we do. And at first I'd always feel like, we got to go do something with him. And honestly, he loved just coming to our house and hanging out. So he will, if he sees us, on social media where we're somewhere without him, he'll be like, hey, what? He's just really kind of part of our family, which is awesome. So, if you're thinking about it and it's time or energy, they love just hanging out and being where you are. So that's my 2 cents on it. But it's been a great program for our family. Like, they both said we've gotten way more out of it probably than Jalen, but we love him and his whole family. So yeah, it's been great.
Thank you, Kim. That is awesome. And I hear that you have a winner for us from the attendees.
I do. So yes, I just got from the drawing. So we have Hillary Bennett is the winner of our chicken and pickle gift certificate. So we look forward to having you out here, Hillary.
Very cool, Hillary. So I was so impressed. Y'all are so with it, chicken and pickle on so many things. But one is that I can directly send you a gift card to your house. So Daniel will make sure that we get your information, your address, so that we can mail that straight to you. So thank you so much for being a part. And Kim, thank you so much for all that.
Of course, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
A lot of fun. Had mixers at Chicken and Pickle where our bigs all come together and have good food and good drinks and just enjoy each other and share stories. So that was a lot of fun as well. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Yep. Take care.
Yeah. And then a reminder that everybody will be receiving their Better Together shirt. So Daniel will be in contact with the times that you can come by the office. So we'll send out that information to see what a good time for you to come pick your shirt up. So we can be walking billboards around town with Better Together. Yeah. So do we have any, Daniel or Holly, do we have any questions that have come up throughout the info session?
We don't have any questions right now. I'm still waiting to see if anyone else puts one in. I did answer one for Cindy. She asked if our volunteers need to be first aid CPR certified. Can you talk a little bit more about the expectations of our volunteer and some of the training stuff that they go through the process?
You want to take that, Shelly? Or you want me to?
I'm sorry, he flashed out for me. What was the question?
Oh, that's okay. I can take it. You do not have to have any special skills. None at all. You really, like Shelly mentioned, you just have to show up. I think, day-to-day activities, like we said, we do have a few restrictions, but not many. And yeah, like she said, it's fairly safe, but yes, absolutely, you don't not need any kind of special certifications or qualifications. We do provide a lot of great training, especially if you have specific things that you want to learn about. We can certainly send you resources or talk you through different situations. So we have a very awesome staff that's really well trained and able to provide those resources. So
And remember, you have a match support specialist who can answer questions for you along the way at any time.
Yeah, very true.
Definitely. Yeah, the staff are absolutely helpful in anything. With my little, we've had a couple of things come up where I've reached out. He's getting ready to apply for his first job, so they sent me resources on, how to coach him on how to do that. So that was super helpful with that. We don't have any other questions right now. If anybody does have questions, you can feel free to email them to us, or once I reach out to you, once I receive your green sheet, then I can answer them. Oh, we got a question from Adolfo. How are littles placed into the program? Is it school or parent driven?
Yeah, I mean, the over 90% of the littles that we enroll are coming to us from their guardian. And so, to me, we have to all of our organization, huge respect for these families who are awesome families that just say, hey, I have a lot on my plate and I just need my kid to have a little bit more attention, which I think is really humble and awesome for these families that we get to work with. The other part of the littles come from school counselors and teachers and community members. And I mean, we go to speak lots of churches and things like that. So like community referrals, and you can certainly refer a little on our website at kansasbig.org. I think it's /enroll a little. So you can certainly submit an inquiry. So whether it's the guardian or if you wanted to submit one on behalf of somebody else, we can certainly do it that way as well.
Fantastic. All right, Haley, this is a question for you. If somebody has a workplace or a company that they would be willing to have people come in and talk to just for a couple minutes or do the whole info session, how can they go about setting that up with us?
Well, you just got us so excited, you guys. Yeah, Shelly and I mean, in our team, we go all over the place, and obviously most of it's been virtual right now. But my contact information is on the screen in front of you, and Shelly's is as well. So feel free to call or text or email at any time. And we really, like you said, we can adapt to any environment. So if it's 5 minutes ahead of a staff meeting, just planting a seed, or if it's maybe a lunch and learn. I know we just did we just did one at Cox Communications and Spirit and Cargill over the past month. So it's, so grateful to just help get the word out. We always tell people it's low expectations. Like we don't come in and say, if you host this, you better have some big sign up. We just want to spread the word, that's a big thing.
Yeah, definitely. And we can also do virtual company presentations as well. So keep that in mind too.
Great point.
Okay, well, that's all the questions. So I'm going to hop off here and let you guys wrap it up.
All right.
I think we are wrapped up. Thank you all so very much for taking the time, and share it with anyone else that you may know that might want to hear.
Yeah.
Go through an groups.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna break it up a little bit, but we made it through. Yay! So there's one more link. Thank you guys.
Bye.